Check, check. Yo, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. I should just start saying good morning because it's a good morning everywhere, right? How are we? How are we all doing? A lot of Indians in the house. Some Maddie Bhai Sab. Someone else said Maddie Bhai Zindabad. I'm Indian. I watched so many Indian movies and I speak Hindi from time to time at home. So, I mean, if you say something in Indian, in Hindi, or Urdu, I'll probably respond. But yo, what's up, everyone? Good to see everyone in the house. We got XY Art, hey, NFT Addiction Helpline in the house again. Moofy, what's up? It's a new name. Have you seen Moofy around? Crypto Pain, good morning. Doronovic, yo, good evening. M Tully, you are early today. Am I? I am, right? I think I went live a few minutes early. Robinson, let's go. Oh, hi. We got Anaru Haumu. What's up? What's up? Justin Dazel, yo Maddie, yo James Jason, what's up? As a 3D, Dornovic says, as a 3D sculptor, disappointing to see Artifact using the most basic model of Dash 3 creating a character with purchased assets. And even the rig is already built in. Yes, I minted using the MetaCrew, but ooh, Dornovic, I haven't heard that take yet. I'm not a 3D modeler, so I don't know exactly. Well, looks like I'm outside the thing. Maybe I need to fix this. Hold up. Okay, I think I gotta be over here then. I haven't heard that take. What's up, Maddie? Vivi dropping Dragon Ball Z NFTs soon. That can't be right. Is that right? Are they actually? I'm gonna be very mind blown if they are. Twitter. Or is this your trick to get me to pull up Vive or VV? And you don't tell me Dragon Ball Z is dropping. And don't expect me to FOMO in and trying to figure out what's going on. DBZ Vive. What? Alright, is it speculation? Easiest, the biggest announcement on CDT today. General Motors. Oh, that's Feb 26. Alright, well, looks like there's a little speculation going on here. 57 minutes. Someone said Dragon Ball Z possible. Alright, cool. Been following you on and off for 4 years, says Barry. That's awesome, Barry. What's up? Good to... Man, 4 years. That's a crazy long time. I remember 4 years ago, my first sort of YouTube videos was all about Decentraland land flipping when I was starting off and blogging here and there. And back then, I remember there was just Ethermon or Ethereumon, and there was Decentraland, and I don't even think there was CryptoVoxels. But there weren't very many projects at all, right? Go first post on the Ecomi CEO post. I will do it later. Did you see the Reebok drop earlier? No, I didn't. Maddie, when will I give giveaway? Maddie and views on Avagotchi Metaverse, please. Yep, Kurup is the first Indian film to release NFT collectibles. Is it? I haven't seen. Oh, Malayalam. Okay, I see. Maddie, can you take a look at Crypto Bull Society? If you haven't, it's on a tear right now on OpenSea. Any strategy on how you might play it? If you were looking to get in, 4 months is the next is a new 4 years. Maddie, did you buy the Ember Sword land? I actually didn't buy any Ember Sword land, but I did say that I think it's gonna do quite well. Right? Let's take a look. I actually haven't been able to. I haven't taken a look over the last I think a week. Let's take a quick look on how Ember Sword land is doing. Still similar floor price, 0.2 Ethereum. Looks like it's definitely getting some sort of volume, so 36, 39. I haven't bought any, guys. I just speak my mind on what I think sometimes. For me, when I think about virtual land, I think about why would that virtual land have value? And Ember Sword is a game that's been in development for 3 to 4 years. So I know Sune, who is the game developer, I've spoken to him a few times, and he seemed like he's quite solid and serious about Ember Sword. It's been, I mean, we've been waiting for it to drop for a while. So my reasoning is that Ember Sword will go on to build a great game and will go on to build a pretty good... Oh wow, looks like there's some sales going on. Woo! It's picking up now, isn't it? I have no idea why. Well, there you go. Catching it mid-pump, it looks like. Let's see what's going on with Ember Sword. Did they announce something recently? Wanna work out? It's Fitcast 2. That was November 27th, November 26th. Yeah, I don't know what they dropped recently, but geez, every minute there seems to be a few sales going on. Are they minting it? What's going on here? From this person to unknown address. What? That's so weird. To Freak. 6 months ago. All right. Well, I don't have no idea what's going on there. What? All right. Maybe I had transfers or something. No, what? All right, I'm going crazy. I swear. Didn't it say like 40 seconds, 40 seconds, 40 seconds, and then 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute? I have no idea what happened there. Was I watching listings? Oh, right, I was watching listings. Sales. Right, we want to watch sales. All right, sales 0.2 ETH floor. Jeez, that's dumb. 0.2 ETH for floor. Looks like it's picking up a little bit. Again, I feel like Ember Sword is going to be a game that will go on to have a big user base just because the game looks pretty fresh. But you know what? The time ticker is moving fast ahead, and I think there's going to be a lot of games coming out. So, like, you're going to need to have a playable game or something happening, or else, like, I feel like you're going to be overtaken. If you go to items and I click buy now, how many are for sale? 866 results for sale, which is pretty low. All right, guys, didn't really want to talk too much about this, but Ember Sword, someone mentioned it. Have I bought any? I have not bought any. I've just been watching it fly. What I did buy, and I was going to start the video with this, was World Wide Web, right? And I'll tell you my reasoning behind my buy and what sort of happened after. Sci-fi art. Can you share your thoughts on World Wide Web? Someone said Reebok drop is called Reebok. Okay, let's pick up Reebok drop as well. Reebok. Did they actually drop an NFT? There we go. All right. We'll take a look at that somewhere. All right, guys. So, if you're following my Twitter over the last 24 hours, you would have noticed at some point yesterday, I think it was around the same time, I ended up buying some World Wide Web land, all right? And the reason why, I'm a sucker for virtual worlds that can have a user base in them that are playing with interoperability and seem to be developing at a fast rate. Because for me, I feel like the whole virtual world thing is going to become sort of like the next NFT avatar phase, but we all sort of know how the avatar phase worked out, right? Probably 100 to 300 projects came out. And right now, there's a handful that I can even remember, let alone are relevant, let alone are actually building today, since launch day. So what we realized with the avatar phase, or a lot of people that entered this year realized, and this has been a realization that, you know, NFT investors have had over the last 3 years, because this has happened many times, where this wave has created a bunch of new projects in the industry, and a lot of them were just landing pages with promises, empty promises, and didn't end up doing it. And because it was so easy to do some quick art and make a landing page and set up the contract, and boom, you're ready to go within a couple of weeks. We saw a bunch of these sell, right? I remember that back in the day, we were finding the same teams that were continuously launching avatar projects. And so intrinsically, there wasn't much there apart from a handful of projects. So with avatar projects, I feel like there's going to be many that will come out that will have some great 2D art looking thing and say, hey, we're selling virtual land. But for me, what stands out is this picture here, where you have people that can jump in, people that can communicate in the game, and also you can bring in your NFTs. You can see there's some cyberkongs over here that went in, and you can turn into your cyberkong, so people walking around as their cyberkong, and your moon cat, and they seem to be playing with interoperability. And I was kind of just taking a look and being like, all right, well, what was this project all about? And all right, you can sell plots. A new addition to the Transformers team, straight from the World Wide Web. Looks like they're introducing new characters that you can turn into, so you can turn into your avatars. And you know, with DCL and the sandbox, this is what we want, right? We want to be able to take our NFT avatars and take them there, and that avatar turns into something. So I bought some randomly, just saying, all right, well, this is a project that's playing with interoperability. That's what I like to see. I like to see that. I feel like there's a massive opportunity to literally just build a massive virtual world and say, hey, whoever has all these communities that have all these different avatar projects, you are now welcome in ours, and you can bring them in, you can display them as art, you can turn into them as your avatars, etc., etc. And I saw this picture where there's a lot of cyberkongs hanging out. To me, it just seemed pretty cool. It seemed cool. This is where I see the metaverse going, whether it be 2D or in 3D. And I think this image here got me as well, where it was like a very RuneScape-esque, sort of trading view. And anyway, based on these factors, I ended up buying some, and I bought some at 0.1 Ethereum, right? I bought some at 0.1 Ethereum. And also we have, as you guys know, there's Treeverse, right? There's Treeverse, and Treeverse I actually ended up buying very early, or relatively early now, but I ended up buying at 0.4 Ethereum. Back down here, 0.2. So I didn't buy there. I actually bought somewhere around here. I bought 0.4 Ethereum. I think I bought about 88 plots. And then you can see it spiked, it dropped down, it spiked, it's kind of going sideways. It dropped down here after the tree, the timeless claims, and then maybe it's going to do another run, but they're going to keep developing. So I saw success through that in terms of a 2D world. I tried to implement a similar strategy here. I mean, it was a very bullish. It looked like it checked all the boxes for me. So anyway, bought a bunch for 0.1 Ethereum. And then it went nuts. Like, a lot of people started buying, and I don't know if it was my tweet that kind of did it. I don't want to take responsibility for creating the FOMO, or yeah, I don't know if it was my tweet that sort of did that, but I tweeted just saying that, hey, you know, this is really cool. Basically, this is what I tweeted. I said, here we go. I said, I have waited for way too long for there to be a RuneScape style in-game NFT trade UX design. What is this game? How do I get involved? And at that point, I had bought nothing. I didn't buy anything, and then I was still kind of learning. Then I kind of learned what the game was and what you could do and what was happening. And then I ended up buying and finding OpenSea and purchasing, right? And then after I bought it, a bunch of other people bought it. So you can see, I don't know if it's, again, I don't want to take responsibility in terms of, I don't know if it was me that did it, but it sort of set off like a bunch of other people buying, and Triple Eight bought a penthouse for himself, and other people bought land. I think Pranksy also bought a couple of penthouses, and a bunch of people bought. And for me, again, the reasoning was, and if I were to look at why I bought what I bought, so what I did was I went to World Wide Web, right? RuneScape UI, classic Matty bait, exactly. Exactly, right? You do anything with me and nostalgia, you're gonna get not just me, but a lot of people throwing in money. Michael will give away another Astro friend, so do you mind setting that up? And I'll pin that at the top. But what I did was, I went to, what I normally do is I buy up the floor. So the same thing I did with Treeverse is I just go in and buy about 100 of the cheapest ones. But what I did this time was like, all right, the thing about buying the floor, and if you buy about 100 of them, is that if you sell those 100, then you're gonna dump the floor, right? So you gotta really sell them kind of occasionally, or you have to sell them infrequently, or you have to wait till volume comes up. But instead of that, what I thought was, all right, well, these guys have some sort of like a scarcity or tiered model here, where you got 69 penthouses, 999 large apartments. So I was like, all right, why don't I buy a penthouse? Because one, there's only 69, and I'll buy it for 8 Ethereum. And if I buy it for 8 Ethereum and the floor of the regular ones goes up from 0.1 to 0.4, 0.5, then surely this one's going to 4x as well. And if I sell it, I can just sell it in one shot. I don't have to sell 50 of them at once. That was my reasoning. So I bought a penthouse for 8 Ethereum. Now it's cheapest 35, which is pretty insane. But you can see some of the recent sales. So 18.3 ETH, 34 ETH. So this one sold for 34 Ethereum, and I think 34 is maybe the largest recent sale. So pretty conservative 30 ETH, I think we would have come to. But you can see there's only 69 of them. So if the game does do well, I would assume because these would be like the largest ones, they would appreciate the most and they become sort of collector ones, right? So that was my reasoning, and that's why I bought some World Wide Web land. And now moving forward, what I'm realizing is that it's better to be extremely selective in what I invest in. I mean, back in the day, if you've seen some of my stuff, boom, like I'd buy a ton of stuff. But a ton of different projects. But I'm being a little bit more selective here, where I have to check a bunch of different boxes for me to get involved, because it's better my capital being involved in projects that can bring attention where there is sort of not much people watching, right? If a lot of people leave the industry, then you notice a lot of avatar projects sort of die down, but people still here will still value virtual worlds or virtual land. Anyway, let's see how this one goes. I also bought a penthouse. We bought a penthouse for the MetaKey, and we're talking to them in terms of integrating the MetaKey, jumping in the world, having a chat. You know what the cool thing is? Like, look at this, right? If I go to World Wide Web and I jump in the land. Oh wait, that's the whitelist. Yeah, if I open up the browser, boom. Look at that, it works, right? How often do you see this where like an NFT project not only is built out, but it actually works? I feel like this is one of the reasons why, and look at this. You can actually go in here and talk to people. Come with me if you want a whitelist spot. And you can do quests already, so you can WASD to move. Where am I? I'm this naked dude walking around. Look at me. Whee. Connect to MetaMask, change into your avatar, take your pets around. Again, like it's a view as to how they're looking at interoperability. I can walk around, I can see other people. So this guy's turned into his thing here. Q here. This guy's a CyberKong, right? How often is there a freaking project where you can actually go in and take a look? Anyway, this is I'm just kind of explaining my thoughts. Is World Wide Web a good investment now? I don't know. I have no clue. It was a damn good investment at 0.1 Ethereum. I'm not going to tell you guys it's a good investment now. I have no clue. All I know is that it's a game that's going to continue to develop, and I want to participate in games that continue to develop. That's it, right? Better to build a working game than raise funds when possible, than to raise funds and spend years building. Yeah, especially for the people buying, right? I mean, for projects, putting out a landing page and getting millions of dollars worth for free with just like minimal effort is of course a big win for them. But for the end user, you probably have to wait a long time. All right, well, this guy's got a Nimbus cloud. How? You just can't do that to me. You can't just go across in a freaking Nimbus cloud. How do I buy a Nimbus cloud now? That's crazy. That's crazy. You can get the cloud doing quests. Michael's like, more Maddie bait. It's not too difficult. Well, I honestly, again, this guy's got a Nimbus cloud right here. That is so epic. Holy shit. I honestly, don't you guys think, or is it just me? Don't you guys think this is where the future lies? All right. I know it's super simple looking at the 2D world, but a 2D world is simple to make. Whether it be 3D or 2D, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter. It's where the people are hanging out that matters, and the ease of communicating in them. Like, look at this guy. This guy's got a Nimbus cloud. Automatic OG. Now imagine this world has millions of players, pretty much like RuneScape, and there is only 100 people with a Nimbus cloud. When you see someone with him, you're going to be like, oh, holy shit, this guy's epic. And just like how Twitter, you put your punk as a profile pic, in these virtual worlds, just like how you would have put a party hat in RuneScape, I would assume you do the same here. That's why I think these NFT game items that are scarce collectible items within virtual worlds that go on to have millions of users are going to just be so damn expensive and great investments. Is there a whitelist for here? Like, I don't really know how this works. Like, I actually just bought land off the OpenSea, off the secondary market. What I'm bullish on is in-game items. Whoa, what happened there? Okay. What I'm bullish on is in-game items and in-game representability. If avatars alone can go on and people spend millions of dollars on their avatars, I mean, like, what do you think they're going to spend on, say, like a virtual pet dragon where there's only 3 of them in the whole world, or an outfit, or a rideable like a Nimbus or a car or a house or a building, right? There's so many different items to be purchased. Avatars are literally just your identity in these virtual worlds. So, you know, in the real world, we're thinking we're just buying JPEGs, but no, in the virtual world, you were actually buying who you're going to look like in different places that will interrupt, different worlds that will interrupt with you. Yeah. Anyway, and the cool thing about these guys and what they did, and I'm taking notes here, is they actually made people do quests, and people that did quests, they whitelisted those people. So they actually made sure that the people that bought those NFTs were people that had actually played the game. I thought that was super smart. Like, and I think we're going to take note for the MetaCrew as well, that your whitelist or the people you want to sell to, when there's extreme demand for your product. I mean, it's very easy in this day and age where if you have a semi-decent project, you should be able to sell out, you know, a couple $100,000 worth, or you know, $50,000 worth, or $100,000 worth, or whatever it may be. Some people sell millions of dollars worth, of course, but that's not. I mean, best case scenario financially, that's great, but in terms of the people that end up holding those NFTs, are if they're all just flippers, then honestly, that's not a really good user base that will be that you can actually work with. You need to start to transition your NFTs into the hands of people that are the user base that will support and understand the vision. So with these guys going through a quest, when you having to do a quest to go part of the whitelist, I think that was this guy's just following me. I thought that was a very clever idea. So I think with the MetaCrew we might do something similar. Whitelist for engagement is extremely compelling. Exactly, Michael. Whitelist, like if you have a product out there and you get people to go and use it, and you say, well, you guys are part of the whitelist. I mean, that's the user base you want. You want the user base that go on and check out your product and do stuff, right? Anyway, before I get too distracted, and I think I've already gotten too distracted, is there's a pinned chat at the top of this, guys, a pinned comment at the top of this chat. As usual, we you go into the Discord and you go into Maddie Stream giveaways. Then there is a giveaway here in Astro Friends. So about 12 minutes, someone will win that. And you remember, every single day we give away an Astro Friend or something. I think the other day we gave a timeless avatar, whatever an NFT is that we have excess of, or whatever sort of hot and trending that isn't too expensive. We give away, right? So an Astro Friend we're gonna give away. You never know the value of these. I think at some point we gave a timeless avatar away, at another point we gave away a freaking Cyber Kong that went on to become 200 ETH worth. Holy shit! When we gave away, I think it definitely wasn't that. I think that was a MetaCrew, It was a MetaCrew giveaway. Sorry, it wasn't a DCL blogger giveaway. We also gave away a Treeverse plot that went on to be worth a couple of ETH. So I love giving away NFTs, because at the point of me giving them away, they may not be worth a lot of money, but they may become worth a lot of money. NFT is definitely one of the best giveaway items in this day and age. All right, enough about World Wide Web. I think we can start continuing. My last comments are that there's going to be many projects, I think, that will look at this and say, wow, you know, we can raise millions of dollars building this thing. Let's all copy this and do it. But I think for me, it's about who's got something special. Interoperability shows that you are paying attention to the space, and you're not just selling your own NFTs multiple times, but you actually have an interest in accepting different projects and how they're doing. Oh, this guy's got a Nimbus. He's killing me. Ow. Yeah. People have different colored names as well. Mad RuneScape vibes. All right, I need to get out of this game. Let's close it. Yeah, my last comments are like, there's going to be many metaverse related games. And for me, investing in them isn't going to be as simple as, oh, wow, that's a virtual game, or that's a virtual world, whatever. It's going to be those that I think that can retain a user base as well. Grow and retain a user base. Growth of a user base is pretty easy at the start. You just go, boom, you have a virtual world, come in and say hi. You can probably get about 100 to 200 people in there. But what will be interesting is that why the moat, right? Why is it important? Why are they special compared to others? And interoperability is one thing, but also in terms of like, if you look at the sandbox, they've got hundreds of different brands that are part of them already. They're already on different exchanges. They've started 3 years early. That you can already almost build 3D voxelized game experiences there. It's a different beast, right? It's a beast that can't be replicated very easily. If someone wants to replicate the sandbox, they probably have to go 3 years ahead. I mean, they have to start now, and they're probably 2 to 3 years to build to that level, right? If you look at Decentraland, similar case, especially the decentralized structure and the support they have, the biggest investors like Barry Silver, DCG, etc., them being part of those index funds, those structurally being part of, Mana being part of having the decentralized process. You can go in there and build your own virtual experiences. They've got that sort of history to where they run differently. They're more of a decentralized nature. Again, I've seen Decentraland be produced. Aesthetically, not and structurally, they are very different. Aesthetically, they maybe you can replicate that in a year, but structurally, foundationally, they work completely different with the DAO and the voting mechanisms, etc., etc. So again, Decentraland is another thing that's very difficult to replicate. So those sort of virtual worlds that have something special to them, either they're way ahead and they have something special, or there's something new that go on to do quite well and can retain that kind of specialness. Right. So that is my thoughts on World Wide Web and virtual worlds moving forward. Let's move away from this. Check the activity one more time. All right, looking good. Looking good. Let's keep going, guys. So Justin Sun. All right, let's get onto the news a little bit. Justin Sun. CryptoPunk NFT became the most expensive Twitter avatar. So Justin Sun put out this tweet saying that he bought CryptoPunks were the most expensive Twitter avatars, worth about 10 mil. But today, the world record has been renewed again, apparently. I bought a new ape avatar with $15 million worth of TRX today. After all, the art of the NFT avatar is the new artistic showcasing for our generation. I think Justin Sun expected this. Justin Sun expected this to become like a big viral tweet, but honestly, it was the most pathetic tweet I've ever seen in my life. First of all, Bored Ape Yacht Club Tron is literally a copy paste of Bored Ape, with a few different changes. Secondly, like, look at the amount of engagement they get. All right, they say something, they tweet something. Help Justin Sun complete his Basie Tron Joker NFT set, blah, whatever they say. And they get like minimal engagement. Look at this, 15 likes, 55 likes. Okay, that was an outlier. 32, 41. This is Justin Sun's one, but before that, like, they were getting hardly anything right. What is this? How do we look at 12 deal of the day, rank 186, 12,500 TRX. Price of TRX 0.1. Oh wait, CoinGecko 0.1 10 cents, right? 10 cents. So they've said, what's that one? They said deal of the day at 10 cents. So what's that? $1,250. So $1,000, and then boom, Justin Sun comes in and buys one for $15 million US. One, that's just, obviously that's a complete PR stunt. When you have a project that's kind of new and selling at a sort of a range, and you have a massive outlier where someone comes and buys something for 10 mil, you got to ask your question. Like, first of all, there's a motive behind that. So Justin Sun, he's the founder of TRX. So obviously he's going to try and pump the NFT narrative on the TRX chain. But anyway, him supporting a copy-paste project that is obviously playing with the IP and is just crap and junk in terms of look, I don't think there's anything special about copy paste projects, right? But anyway, I retweeted this saying this is like literally the worst take. Even people from TRX or Tron was saying like this is a really shitty take. Yeah. A lot of punk owners, ape owners, I think the whole NFT space sort of came together and said this is just stupid. It's literally the dumbest thing like you can do in terms of on behalf of your project. It also showed that Justin Sun doesn't really have a taste in the sense of, I mean, for him, yes, this might do something because he bought 15, you know, it might pump the price of TRX. But as a collector, like, why the hell would you collect something that's, you know, a copy paste of a different project? Anyway. Yeah, pretty interesting. I was like, by far the worst NFT marketing stunt I've seen. Justin Sun, founder of Tron, buys a base Tron knockoff for 15 mil. Use it as a PR stunt to show off the future of Tron. Not how this works. Pranks is saying this is potentially one of the worst takes and claims I've seen regarding NFTs since 2017. If you genuinely wanted to progress the potential of technology and space on the Tron Foundation, Ethereum network, and many other blockchains, you have to cut stuff like this out. Embarrassing. Sorry you feel that way. Any comments would be appreciated. In fact, I'm supporting not only Tron NFT project, but also actively promoting excellent NFTs on Ethereum as a collector and works by Beeple, Murapack, Ether Rock, CryptoPunk, Ferocious, and artworks by blah, 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 blah. Honestly, he's done that yeah, it's honestly the dumbest take. I don't know what else to say. Spent 15 mil on a fake ape, right? You can't just copy paste someone's IP, make a few tweaks, put it on a different chain, and expect that to have longevity. Hype and a bit of virality, yes, but longevity, hell no. No way. Do you reckon 5 years from now, if the Bored Ape brand becomes huge, people are going to look for all the Bored Apes on different chains, and they're going to have value? I honestly don't think so. Anyway. Sci-Fi X5 Art says, so glad the 69 mil people didn't go to him. I know, right? For real. Like, imagine if he won the freaking Beeple art piece. Like, that would have been tragic. I'm looking at MetaCrew and I'm like, dude, you are like our hero to buy that. Someone needed to buy that. Someone needed to, no matter what, get that out of Justin Sun's hand. Because if he bought that, and if he bought that, guys, the space is so young that you can set narratives. Justin Sun can, right now, make some big moves and make TRX a massive blockchain for NFTs. Because the space is so young, so people coming here, they don't know what the hell is going on, so they'll just follow whatever they see, right? So if Justin Sun bought the Beeple, you better believe that a lot of brands would have come to Justin Sun and said, hey, yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's launch our project on TRX because Justin Sun bought it for 70 mil. Everyone will pay attention because the Beeple artwork had a lot of people coming in, figuring out what the hell NFTs were. So he would have had that leverage to build an epic platform for NFTs on TRX. You see how for larger investors, whether it be collectors or people with companies, especially Justin Sun, who's probably sitting on a few $1 billion, but people like Justin Sun, they have they can spend money where that money may not have, like, he may not make money off the Beeple piece. If he had spent 70 mil, maybe in the future of Beeple, he may not ever able to be sell that. Can't even speak, but he may not have been able to sell that for more than 70 mil. But it would not have mattered for Justin Sun at the time if he had won that, because he would have had so much traction on TRX where even just a price increase of 2% or 3% would have massively pumped the TRX price by a few hundred million, right? And then he would have been able to leverage that to build NFT platforms. So when we think about investing in NFTs and crypto, also you got to think about the sort of tier, the tier status of the collectors, you know, with the floors. Who are investing in floors? Who's sort of buying floors? People that are your common investors, right? Who's sort of buying the collective pieces? People that want to take that, make a statement, obviously have the capital. Who sort of buys the really expensive pieces? And when we look at why the hell are people spending $5 to $15 million on this stuff? Well, they're spending it, well, not this stuff as in this copy-paste Bored Ape, but the really expensive stuff. They're spending it because they can use that as leverage to raise money for a fund. They can spend that as leverage to say, hey, you know, I bought this collector piece. I am the owner of this massive piece. It's very iconic and it's going to have a lot of value. And people listen to that, right? NFTs are access in a way, but they're also like leverage, if you get what I'm saying. just like the CryptoPunks. It's sort of like how do I say it? It's kind of like when people look at someone with a very scarce NFT that has a lot of attention. So, for example, the ape punks, right? The ape punks. When people come outside, look in, and they kind of follow those people. They know what CryptoPunks are, and they know that someone owns an ape punk. Immediately, you sort of have a lot of following. Immediately, you're kind of seen as someone who can provide value. You're kind of perceived as a good collector, right? Even if you spend $50 million on the ape punk and that ends up doing crap, because you have the ape punk, you are kind of perceived as that. So it's quite interesting that that's how it's starting to work as well on a higher level. Ella says it's like buying knockoff Nikes. Pretty much. It's like buying knockoff Nikes and saying, putting a little TRX symbol and saying, hey, there's a TRX here. It's not a Nike, it's a TRX brand, and it's got a tick, but you know, it's different. It's weird, right? Anyway, let's keep going. Pokemon Go created Niantic, or Niantic. How do you pronounce that? Niantic, says Michael. Pokemon Go created Niantic partners with Fold to launch a new crypto hunting AR game. So if you know Niantic, they made Pokemon Go. Once upon a time, Pokemon Go took over the world by storm. Yes, they did. Niantic and Fold to launch a Bitcoin hunting AR game. According to the story by Metro, the game could be similar, except this time players will be looking for Bitcoin instead of Pokemon, although not a lot has been revealed as of the moment. News of the upcoming crypto hunting AR game has already started to spread. A Bitcoin app called Fold, they spelled cold, COLD. A Bitcoin app called Fold has partnered up with Niantic in order to allow people to hunt for Bitcoin in the real world. With that, the company is describing the partnership as an effort to help forge an alternative version of the metaverse that would promote freedom through both Bitcoin and fun. Fold described the idea of the project as Pokemon Go, but for Bitcoin. It's quite interesting. Now, for me, the concept is pretty cool. I mean, yeah, okay, you can go in the real world and hunt for Bitcoin. People will be running around looking for Bitcoin. It is an interesting bridge of like digital and of real world and the digital. Like, this is sort of like getting people to understand how the metaverse may function. For me, what's quite interesting is that Niantic, come on, if Niantic are paying attention, that means that Pokemon as a brand is closer and closer to doing something with NFTs. I feel like one day, right, Pokemon are going to release NFTs, and they're just going to, or hopefully they do it right, and they're just going to blow up the NFT world. Right? Okay. That would be huge if they came out now with the Pokemon, let's see how the Bitcoin app goes. And I think they're experimenting. They're putting the feelers out there, and they're going to play with the whole Pokemon thing at some point. Surely they will. All right, Alex Becker put this tweet out. Yesterday, Elliot and I sat down with the head of Big Time and Decentraland co-founder Ari to demo Big Time, in my opinion, the first big adoption of crypto gaming. It will be a game similar to WoW, World of Warcraft. Wow, really? Okay. I don't know how true that statement is. Oh, it looks like it. Look at the pictures, actually. Big Time has freaking nailed this. This is what mainstream NFT crypto gaming will be. I don't think Metaverse, aka the glorified empty VR chats and 3D environments, will be the first wave. It will be a game people actually play, similar to current games, but with NFT crypto functionality. Long story short, Elliot, myself, and Neo Tokyo is loading up on Big Time space. So obviously they're going big on Big Time. I want to disclose that my fund is an investor to Big Time Studio. So any comments I say from this point onwards, take it as it is. I try and be critical, but there may be a bit of bias there because at the end of the day, I have invested in it, right? So my fund invested a big ticket into equity for Big Time Studio. Ari, obviously being someone that we've been in touch with for a while, because from Decentraland and me in the early days in DCL, I've known Ari and Esteban for a while now. So he came with Big Time Studio and it was like, Maddie, we're building this game. What do you think? I was like, holy shit, this is a pretty cool game. And Ari's thinking was that, you know, for there to be a massive adoption to the NFT space, we need to go out there and build an A1 AAA game with massive game vets and build it big. So I was like, yeah, man, you're right. So he showed me some pictures, showed me some demos, and this is what it looked like. You can take your characters in there and kind of go out there and play a game and battle some beasts and monsters and equip items and all sorts of things. So I think they're doing that Now I don't know the gameplay. I have not actually played the game. Right? I haven't actually played the game. Uh, what do you think? What do you think of DGen Trash Pandas? Is that even? I can't even believe that's a name for a NFT project. Anyway, yeah. So I think it's. I think there's a lot of momentum coming out there for AAA games to start playing with NFTs quite seriously and building great experiences and taking this space very seriously. And I think they have the chance. Like Big Time has the opportunity to do that. I mean, Ari is a bullish founder, and he's got some pretty good, a great team behind there pushing this forward. So we'll see how they go. They did an NFT sale before. I think you could have bought some passes and some very early art. I don't know if they'll be releasing a token. As far as I know, I don't think they will release a token. So we'll see how this one goes. But just a comment on that because Elliot and Alex also looked at the game and thought that it was a big deal. Do I agree with this? I agree with it. I think there's going to be a lot of competition for AAA games. I think there's going to be a lot of competition for AAA games. I think if they build out an experience that is very user base friendly, like the people not only love the game, but they run it well, and there are the community, there's enough mods there, and there's a good amount of people there to go back and forth with the feedback to make sure that the players enjoy playing the game and also enjoy being there and enjoy how it's run, how the project is run. I think that part as a whole, as an ecosystem, is really important for a long term game. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. George says, Maddie, how can we invest in Big Time? You can buy the early NFTs. You can. So how my fund invested in it is we bought equity. So what they do is they sell equity into their business, and then they build games under that business, and then they go on to that equity goes on to be worth a lot of money or whatever is under that. So when you say that X company has raised $5 million of funding round, Series A, Series B, etc. That's where my fund comes in, and we kind of back them in this early stage. We have no tokens. I don't think there's a token model here. There may be in the future. Who knows how it goes. Game similar to WoW is a way too big statement. I agree, Pygos. WoW is its own beast, right? WoW came out when there was like decades of lore built behind a Warcraft, and had a lot of people in there. It was very early in its sort of existence, and it's definitely its own beast, and I'm sure it took a damn long time to build. So it will be a game similar to WoW, maybe, but I think they have a lot to prove in terms of getting people attached to the storyline, etc. How do I get the NFT? Yeah, wow, took like a decade to master, says $1 Million Vault. Anyway, bullish for the whole gaming industry, right? AAA games, whether it be Big Time or the 10 to 20 other big games we might see next year. I am mega interested to stay in this space. I reckon the NFTs we've been selling for the last 4 years, whether it be avatars, etc. I think there's going to be virtual worlds and games. Virtual worlds and games, and that's literally where we're all going to exist and play and hang around with. I think there's going to be play to earn, there's going to be virtual events, and I think that's where we're all existing. So the NFTs, whether it be MetaKey, MetaCrew, punks, apes, pandas, whatever they may be, whether you're buying freaking virtual cars, ETH Lambos, rocks, whatever they may be, I think we're all going to be able to utilize them in a bunch of different games, etc. And that's why with MetaKey is a massive interoperable play, where if you buy the MetaKey, what we're doing internally is reaching out to Big Time Studio, reaching out to all these games, Habbo Hotel, and saying, hey guys, would you accept the MetaKey? And saying, if you own the MetaKey in your game, it turns into something. So we're doing these sort of things to make sure that we're trying to push that interoperability and have multiple games that accept the MetaKey assets. And a lot of games, a lot of projects, what they do is they build their own stuff internally. What we're doing is that we're selling, but we're also we're focusing on integrating in what already exists there. And I think that's the beauty of Web3. It allows you to plug in, and not many people are doing like plugging in thing. All right, that being said, very quickly before I jump to the next 3 to 4 news pieces, is that MetaCrew, if you've had a MetaKey and you haven't claimed your MetaCrew, please do so. The claim window is closing in, I think, a day or something. What's the time exactly, guys? Do you know? In exactly 22 hours, That's the last time to claim. So if you have your MetaCrew, make sure you go over here, you go into MetaMask, you mint it, and pray to God that the gas is low, or keep tabs on the gas prices, and make sure you mint it, right? If not, they're all just going to end up with us, or the spares will end up with us, and we're just going to, we don't even know what the hell to do with them. So we'll just keep it in the vault till we figure out what the hell to do with them. But make sure you claim them because you're eligible to, and someone's going to get NASA traits, Apollo 11 traits, and they're literally I think they're the first mainnet Ethereum assets, not on Polygon, that will have anything to do with NASA. So if NASA as a brand go on NFTs that will go to something big, well, the ones the 60 or 80 or 100 or however many that are in the pot that has Apollo 11 badges, they're going to be the first ever NASA official NFTs on Ethereum. So, you know, like if you have a MetaKey and you haven't minted one, I don't know what to say. Mint one. It's freaking free. It's free minus the gas. You know, it's really frustrating that the gas is like $100 sometimes because we want it to be completely free. Like that's the whole purpose of blockchain, is to sell something once off and have this free experiences, and we build things to be free. And if we had control of the gas fees, then we would have made it free. Vitalik says, how many NASA traits? Is that a secret, or can we say that?
Right, so how many?
Yeah, how many avatars will have them? We can give a range.
We don't know until it's revealed.
Yep.
But it is one of the rarest traits. So it's not.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not. I hope you guys heard that, but it's not going to be. It's not. What the hell was I going to say? It's going to be rare. All right, it's going to be rare. And it'll be like, I don't know. It's not 100% finalized until we actually do the random generation and we push it out there. That's when we will know the exact amount. So I can't give you guys an exact amount. All we know is going to be one of the rarest items, right? How do I become eligible for one? Well, if you had a MetaKey, you would have had a snapshot. So the snapshot was taken 2 weeks ago, and then you would have been able to claim this for free. When is the reveal data on them? I think the reveal process starts 22 hours later. That's the last point to claim, and then I think like 27 hours or something. Yeah, so 27 to 30 hours later, we'll start to reveal them, and that's when there'll be sort of like the data behind who's got what, right? The reveal process takes time, guys. It takes a freaking long time to upload 10,000 assets to our server. So keep that in mind. Oops, this button came on. So yeah, keep that in mind. So reveal time doesn't mean that everyone will know what's going on. Reveal time basically means that's probably when we're going to start revealing. It's going to take probably 24 hours or something ridiculous to get the full reveal. But hey, it's going to be pushed out, right? So minting, make sure you guys mint it. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, mint it. We're going to be using these items in game. So you can see we've got like, you know, right now they're quite simple. They look like this. But you can see how in 3D, we're working with bringing them into Decentraland. We're working with bringing them into our own games. You can see we've built them in 3D over here. We're bringing in our own games. We're reaching out to other games to put them in there. They're going to be your identity. These avatars will be your identity. The meta keys themselves are your access to get everything. So how the meta keys work is that if you have a meta key, that meta key itself will be integrated into a bunch of different games. And I'm talking to a massive, massive game publisher today in terms of investing in the meta key. And if they say yes, it's going to be bonkers. But we're going to be integrating the meta key into different places. But also, if you own the meta key, you're going to get things like this. So the Avatar project was a complete side project for all MetaKey owners. So you will get many our vision is that there's going to be many NFTs that you'll be able to take into virtual worlds, and we're going to build a suite of them where you'll be able to take them to different places. I can't read that. That's how it works. Anyway, if you got a MetaCrew, you got 35 of them. Threefolds Comics says he's got 35 of them. That's awesome. I think I've got like 5. So who's gonna get the alien? Who's gonna get like the really rare ones? I think there's robots. I think we got some cats and stuff. And then we got the NASA trade. So it's gonna be epic, right? We actually had the opportunity to bring more brands into there, but we thought it's gonna complicate things, so we just stuck with NASA because I thought that was we all thought sort of like that was big enough. But in the future, you know, who knows what else we're gonna be working with. But just a note there to make sure you guys claim your Meta key because I'd hate for you guys to miss out, right? All right. Clonex sales recap. Let's make that last because that's probably a bigger topic. Now, Scorsese, producer to make first Hollywood movie funded by NFTs. Niels Jewell hopes to raise up 10 million USD and says he wants to democratize antiquated funding system. I cannot read today. The executive producer behind the blockbusters, including Martin Scorsese's The Irishman, is to make Hollywood's first feature film funded entirely by non-fungible tokens, with a promise that those who invest will get a share of any profits and meet the stars of the production. That's quite interesting. Niels Jewell, who has set up the production company NFT Studios to fund a series of films, hopes to raise between 8 to 10 mil through the sale of 10,000 NFTs to the public and institutional investors. Scorsese. Scorsese. Thank you. So that's quite interesting. NFTs are a digital certificate providing that you own something. Obviously it is. Jules said the aim was to develop a new funding model for films. I think sometimes it's Scorsese. All right. Scorsese. I think everyone, I think like last year sometime, we kind of went through how movies and films and scenes and videos and moments are all sort of where I think NFTs, as in terms of collectability, for the masses is going to lie. I think movies is going to be a massive opportunity. I think collectibles in sports, just like how NBA Top Shots did it, will be a massive opportunity if done right. So these guys are actually doing exactly that. They're actually selling those NFTs that's raised to fund. Are they going to be selling scenes though? Like I would love for this movie to have scenes that you could collect. So if any scenes become iconic, like splitting those scenes out and saying, well, you know, there's 10 of these scenes because they were really rare, 100 of these ones, and you can own the scene just like people own art pieces. Like imagine owning the Transformers scenes, right? Or even like Matrix, if the sort of the bullet dodge scene. All of those scenes, I reckon, will be pretty massive. All right, cool. That's great to know. Like what we're realizing and seeing now is that there's momentum, right? There's momentum in different directions, and this is how sort of you'd be able to pick up how things are going in the very early days of the NFT industry when you sort of start to see art picking up. And I remember, like, I got into NFT art about a year and a half after the industry started on Ethereum. So I was pretty late, but I remember seeing signs of some pretty big collectors, like multiple big collectors being part of it. I remember seeing people in my WhatsApp group that were all very Metaverse native, that were all just talking about virtual land, whether it be Sandbox and Somnium Space, etc. And half of them were talking about art collecting. And I was like, what the heck's going on here? I don't get what you guys are doing. I don't understand collecting JPEGs. Like, this makes no sense to me. But there was one sale that I think it did like $50,000 or $100,000 once off. And for me back then, when Ethereum was worth a couple $100, like that was a lot of money, right? That was a lot of money. In this day and age, that would have been about $1 million. So I remember that event happened, and that got me to look deeper into it. So what we're seeing now are signs of the industry taking shape in different forms, right? That's very cool to see. Now we went through that. What's this? We went through that. Economy. Reebok looks like they released NST2 official NFTs claim now. So let's see what's going on here. So you have to buy them. Reebok has created 300 NFT collectibles of Reeboks and ASAP Nast's collaboration on the Zig Kinetica 2 Edge. The NFTs are available in 3 variants representing the different elements in which the Zig blah 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 blah. Shop that here. So can't collect this thing, but let's go see what the price is of that. So could you have gotten it for free, or what's going on here? So Reebok X NS2X. If it's for free, that's pretty cool. I think it was. So 300 items, 260 owners, 50 ETH traded 3 hours ago. It looks like people are pretty much selling them straight away. Typical. Well, if there's literally tens of thousands of brands to come to this space, there's gonna be a massive flood. I think, you know, again, my bet is with people and companies that will go on to build utility for this. So if they say that, hey, if you own this NFT, then you will get every Reebok shoe for free in the next year. I don't understand why they don't do that. Like, it's such a small investment to make. It's such a small investment to make, but to set the standard. Like, right now is the time to set the standard or be an iconic brand that does something different, that proves that you can provide immense value to someone. So if they had said that, you know, you can claim 300 of these, all right, you spend 0.1 Ethereum, you spend $400 US, and they said you get every Reebok release for free for the next 3 years. Maybe that's 3 Reebok releases. Probably costs them $100 all up, because obviously they get them really cheap made. So they'll spend, you know, 30k USD on sending these out to those 300 people. They would have raised 300 times $400, you know, $12,000-$15,000. But that would have been so small compared to Reebok, a brand that's massive. I feel like there's so much brands can do to just prove that they're here to share value, right? Christopher says, I've asked them about utility, no response yet. Agreed, I'm pushing them on it. Yeah, right. Like, just push it. Like, it was a free mint. Oh, good to know. Great that it's a free mint. And I think, like, people are getting the idea that it's collectible, but there's going to be a big opportunity for brands that go on to say that, hey, there's a lot of utility now designed for this. And there's going to be a big opportunity for collectors or people that purchased or have these NFTs, and the sort of the vibe has died out immensely until projects have kind of figured out, okay, wait a second, we can do more, and then maybe 6 months from now we'll release utility for them. It's exactly what happened with Clonex. Clonex kind of went all the way down to about 1 ETH or half an ETH floor, because people were like, looks like they're not going to do much. Boom, they released the fact they're doing Artifact Studio NFTs or avatars, and all of their previous NFTs had immense value, right? That's exactly what's going to happen to some of these brands that do it right. And I think there's an opportunity there. There's a high risk. It'll be a good time to pretty much talk to every brand and see what's in the works and if they're going to give value to their previous NFT drops. Because whoever does, it's like some of these NFTs have gone to crap. Like, one that comes to mind is The Weeknd's art pieces. He just sold like these The Weeknd art pieces, and I think they're worth like $50 now. And he sold them for, I think, $400 back then. But if he was to come out and said, hey, I'm going to do concerts at these places, anyone that has those NFTs can access those concerts and get free tickets to my next drop and blah, 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 then they're going to go and have value. Reebok is owned by Adidas. More importantly, I need some fresh NMDs for Decentraland. Oh, that's pretty interesting. You're right. Reebok is owned by Adidas. So that is good, because, I mean, Adidas are obviously doing more. So maybe these might have value. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Last thing I wanted to talk about is just to touch upon Clonex. So Clonex did their drop. They kind of had a very shaky drop. Midway, they stopped mint because they say that they had a massive bot attack in Discord. As someone that sold, as a team for MetaCrew that sold the 3rd or the 4th MetaCrew, and it was bonkers crazy. And we had people that were breaking bots and throwing spam links and everything. I understand that, but it also, what they did was, at the same time when people were minting this at the Dutch auction, there was people trying to undercut and sell them that had gotten them for cheaper because they had the previous NFT rights. So people say that that Clonex did this to make sure that they could sell and not get undercut. Who knows what their intention was, but they ended up raising about 95 to 100 mil USD in the process. Wow, this was this was messy. Artifact's website got massively attacked. Discord flooded, sale compromised, blah, 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 blah. Crypto drama, business as usual. Some would say, want to have more context on these Clonex sales, check out blah, 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 blah. Floor prices, so they've got all this now, and they're trying to explain what happened. So floor prices of mint vials before public sales, blah, 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 explaining the whole thing. But honestly, I'm just, any project that goes on to raise like 20, 50, 100 mil is going to build the craziest experiences moving forward. Like $100 million plus is massive to go on and build anything you want. Like Decentraland raised 20 million USD. Sandbox probably raised, 10 to 15 to 20 mil in the very early days to build out the sandbox. So Clonex or Bored Apes or whoever has raised, 80 to 100 mil, I can't imagine what the hell they're going to build, right? Whether their own metaverse or whether their own whatever it may be. So I'm very curious to see what they build. I have a lot of faith in their project. And I think there's going to be a lot more avatar projects that will drop out there. My bet is with those that can, one, do something original, two, can do something and raise a decent amount of funds. And you're probably like, Maddie, money doesn't matter. But in my opinion and my experience, it does matter, because a lot of companies in 2018 folded because they didn't have the funding that could take them through a quiet period. So 2018 for me was an eye opener, because I thought the same, where money was like, Maddie, whatever, like if someone just wants to do this, they'll do it, which is true. But if it's not backed by money, where if you have a very quiet period, it doesn't motivate you to stay, then you'll probably just quit and go find a job, right? Like obviously you need to eat and you probably have a family, etc. So funding is quite important. You don't need tens of millions. You probably need a couple $100,000 to get started. That model needs to be there where you get something to keep you going, right? Runtime. All right. The next, we're pretty much going to end it over here, guys. So congrats to whoever won the giveaway. Looks like it was Soul Maverick. Soul Maverick, you won a giveaway. The Astro friends. So I'll send that sometime at the end of this week. But congratulations to no, not congratulations. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys mint the MetaCrew or the MetaKey. The MetaCrew from, if you've had the MetaKey during the snapshot. If you don't, literally in 22 hours, you will not be able to do it, and I'm going to be super sad that you can't do it. And we are going to resume next week, Tuesday, which at that point, we're going to have MetaCrews, we're going to have Clonexes, we're going to have maybe a couple of different avatar project reveals, and it's going to be fun. Let's do a giveaway then, hey? Let's give away some, we're probably going to give away some MetaCrews. Let's give away some MetaCrews. So let's chat then, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We will talk soon. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your time. I hope you're all having fun in the NFT industry. I sure am. And happy for you guys to join in every day, every second or third day for these streams. Take care, guys. We'll speak soon.